There were two things that Jake told me when I was brought on board with this project. It was just really two things. One is to tell the entire story on the ocean, and the other was that Pip would be a pants roll. So, of course, when you are setting the entire story of Moby-Dick on the ocean, it cuts off about 200 or 300 pages of the book, or 200 pages of the book, 150 pages of the book. But it also cuts off the way in which Ishmael and Queequeg meet. So I knew I had to concoct a new way for that to happen, because I think the relationship between Ishmael and Queequeg and the voyage, or the journey I should say, the emotional journey that Ishmael goes on is really part of the book. And Queequeg's influence on him is definitely sort of the soul of the novel, I think. So I had this idea of beginning with the Ramadan chapter, and fiddling with it. In the Ramadan chapter, Queequeg is praying, and Ishmael can't understand why he's doing it in the book. And I sort of conflated various things and pushed it onto this, into the opening scene of the opera in which the characters meet. So, in order to do that, I had this idea of having him praying in his language. And I went to the New York Public Library and I found an incredible Samoan chant that was so perfectly suited for the task. It was about the sea and about the spirit and about a sort of a spiritual awakening. And it worked out really well. And Jake was very happy with the idea of being able to weave that, and he did, as you know, he weaves it throughout the opera. I started this process by doing 6 months of work on my own. And after that 6 months was over, and that was reading the book many times and reading lots of criticism and such. But after that process, Jake and I went off to Nantucket together. And that was sort of like the kickoff for the actual writing of the piece. And we just started knocking ideas back and forth. I showed him what I was working on, and it's a very comfortable relationship. We both have our eye on the prize, which is just to write the best piece we can. It's a lovely relationship, and the artistic relationship, in that there's no walking on eggshells. We just get to work, and it's great. I did not realize until I went to the Nantucket Whaling Museum that there were mastheads on all three masts of the. I mean, I read various books, but I missed it. But when I was walking through the museum and I saw this model, a replica of the boat, of a whaling ship, and I saw these mastheads on multiple masts, I thought would be fantastic for a duet. And then this whole notion of having Queequeg incapacitated on the mast when he falls sick, and his best friend not being able to get to him because he's separated by him, and it all sort of crystallized in that moment in the museum. So there were lots of moments like that. I mean, seeing the tub oarsman and all the roles. It was, again, I'd read lots of books about whaling in order to write this, but seeing the stuff is really a different experience, and certainly with that duet, it's right out of our visit to the museum. And I also love Greenhorn's aria, where he sort of is cottoning onto a new way of looking at the world after Queequeg has saved Pip. And that's a conflation. It's not exactly that way in the book. I conflated various scenes and hopefully to sort of crystallize a moment of growth for Greenhorn. And I'm happy with the way the text came out, and I think Jake just nailed it. I think it's beautiful, and of course, Stephen Costello just sang the hell out of it. So I think that's one of my really favorite moments. There's no question for me, this experience has been very, very special. I'm very proud of the piece. I'm very proud of the work that we all did together, the whole cast and the production team. And of course, I'm really proud to have worked with Jake on this, and I just love the score so much. So I think it's not just another job. This one was a special one, and I think will always be a special one for me. And also, the thing about this piece is that the friendships that have come out of it, and just the affection and the sense of we're on this voyage together. Because a lot of these folks have been in multiple productions and have been around, and the production team and so forth. We come together. It's like going back to camp the next summer or something. There's a sense of great fun and pride, I think. So does it haunt me? No, but it does feel different and special. There's no question.